Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Simply Unprofessional. I'm your host, Webby. Joining me tonight, we got Rob.
Hey, everybody, it's Rob.
And we have several special guests this evening because it's the live stream. So going down the list, let's start with Tamara.
Hi, I'm Tamara.
And we got...
Don't ask me why I just said it like that.
That's fine. And we got Professor Fox.
Hello.
Hello. And we got John.
Hi. I like Professor Fox's model gets all embarrassed when he did that. Yep.
And we got Kat.
Hello.
And we got B.
Hello.
And we got Avelos.
They paid me to be here, but hi.
That's a lie. We can't afford to pay anybody.
The budget's too small.
What? You mean the check was a fake? You have a budget? Bye.
So, for those of you on the live stream watching this, we will be taking questions, any questions from the chat. They don't have to be Christmas related, but we do. I did copy a bunch of questions that were posted to the Discord previously, and there are several Christmas ones. So I apologize ahead of time. You guys probably won't like any of my answers for those.
See, what I would do if I was you, Webby, is I'd ask the questions, then you don't have to give the answers. There you go.
Well, see, I get called out a lot on SU anytime people have questions because, like, I'll pose the question to Rob and Devin, and then I skate by without answering it. And then later on, people call me on my bullshit about, oh, Webby, how come you never answer any of these questions? It's like, I don't know. It escapes my mind. So I'm going to try to answer some of these the best I can. Also, any questions that are asked, no one has to answer them. If you guys don't feel comfortable answering them, then don't. Anybody who does listen to this podcast knows that I'm an open book. You can ask me anything. I literally have no shame. So we can test that, I guess. So I guess we'll start with the very first question that I copy pasted from the Discord was from Iris. She has it's a two-part question. What's John's opinion of seafood? And how does Webby feel about ASMR?
What kind of weird questions? Who gave you the right for a two-parter?
And
a single target, like.
So, do you want me to answer the seafood question first?
Go ahead, since it was asked first. Sure.
So, I like exactly two kinds of seafood. Fish and chips, where the fish is done like Britain, and I like tuna. I can't stand any else. So, there you go. That's the answer to that question.
Okay.
I'm sure this had to do with the freaking lobster thing, though, or whatever it was.
Oh, hashtag...
Prawn. It was prawn,
Rob
I think.
The shrimp man?
Yeah. Oh, shrimp. That's what it was. And I hate shrimp.
I love shrimp. Anyway.
Don't look at Rob while you say you love shrimp.
Am I looking at Rob? Oh, on Discord it does look like I'm looking at Rob. What's up? What's up, shrimp man?
I mean, to me, it looks like you're looking at Professor Fox, but, it all depends on where the positioning is.
I feel like we missed the opportunity to do a Brady Bunch intro.
We did, didn't we? Yeah.
We'll have to set that up next time. As far as ASMR, I don't understand it. Like, I don't know. I guess it's not my cup of tea, so to speak. I don't understand the whole like listening to somebody whisper or make like little clicky clacky noises in my ears. It doesn't give me the goosebumps.
There's so many different ones.
Oh, I mean, maybe I just haven't seen the right one. I don't know. The ones that I have seen are hot women just licking these ear-looking microphones, and it's just like, I don't understand what's happening right now.
Some people like syrup cutting ones because you can hear all the syrup crack.
Oh,
I don't know. So yeah, that's my take on ASMR. I mean, maybe I would like it if I found the right one, I guess, but I don't know. Okay, next question is from Robone. What's your favorite part of Christmas? So we'll just go in order of what we see here on the Discord, starting with Avelos.
So this may come as a shock to a few of you, I actually like the Christmas carols, believe it or not. One of my favorite Christmas like songs, and I know it's from a movie and all that, but it has like significant meaning to me, is from the Polar Express, and it's When Christmas Comes to Town. It just hits me a certain way, so it's my favorite part about Christmas and that movie.
Okay. B, what about you?
I feel like Avelos is better than mine, so can I take that?
I mean,
that song makes me feel like a kid again. Like, apart from the weird animation in that movie, the animation freaks me out.
The teeth, right?
Yeah, the teeth are so weird. I don't know, because I don't really like Christmas. I like when I've bought all the presents and I don't have the stress anymore, and I feel the relief of no longer having to deal with it.
Okay. Kat, what about you?
Does the stream count?
Hey, I mean, it can. This is our Christmas stream, so...
Alright, then the stream.
Well, look, she's sucking up to all of us now. All right?
Uh-huh.
Her check's not going to bounce, I bet.
It's something I look forward to literally every year since I found, so...
Aww.
All right, Kat, the money's in the mail. You can
You can chill now.
ease up a bit. Ease up a bit.
Yeah, he's all...
John, what about you? What's your favorite part of Christmas?
Well, as somebody who has children, I have always liked when seeing kind of them opening presents and being involved in the early part of Christmas Day, because that is kind of where we're all together and we're all sort of seeing them excited because they get new things, especially when they're little, because when they're little, they're way more excited, right? And
I'll give you more than a meh.
yeah, more than a, oh, it sucks. Okay. Or actually, although to be fair, now that they're in their 20s, they're like, oh, sucks, great. So
That's only Joshua.
But yeah, for me, that's kind of where I love that aspect of it. I also like, not to pick two, Christmas lights. I think it's fun to kind of drive around and see what other people are doing and putting up, and kind of the way they're making their houses look, because I think that's kind of cool too.
Yep. All right, Fox, what about you?
Now I just feel bad about my answer.
No, don't feel bad.
There's no wrong answers.
Literally being able to sleep through the entire day. No work, nothing, just sleep.
Hey, sometimes people need that. I think we're all going to need that, come, tomorrow or Monday. So,
I took off on Monday, y'all.
Yeah, see. So yours is relaxation. That aspect of it. All right. Rob, what about you?
My favorite was always decorating the tree and putting up lights outside, which I haven't gotten to do either of those for several years now. So, but a close second is the stream. So that's now my number one, because I can't do the others.
Listen, we've already had that answer. I can't pay you again for that.
But yeah, when I had a house, I used to decorate like all outside. Like I had like animatronic snowmen. And
oh wow!
I had deers that like turned their heads, and then I would decorate the whole. Like I had a big long fence, and I would decorate the whole thing with lights. And then we had a tree out there that I would decorate and make it like an outside Christmas tree. I really like doing like the light displays, but last couple of years I haven't been able to do it because I haven't lived somewhere where I can. So,
all right, Tamara.
First of all, John, you've got me and
I know. I see that. I see that. I saw your post.
We're just heads.
Quit complaining.
Damn it.
That stretch didn't actually help. It made it worse.
I'm fine with just being a head, disembodied head at the bottom of the screen here.
But you also don't have a chin. You're just like you're cut off right here.
So it's OBS's fault. I literally cannot make that any big. Oh, I can. Oh, that's weird. Why does it work that way? That's weird. That's really strange. Anyway, sorry. It's straightened out now.
Okay.
There we go.
yeah, Alexa, I can just see how well that would go. There would just be broken lights everywhere. Alexa said, inside. Animatronic Santa in the kitchen.
We're like squish now.
Destroy that in like a day. You'd be like, fuck you, Santa.
I'm just watching the stream as we get squished in it. Squish. Squish.
Don't complain,
So
since
Tamara,
you complained about the previous option.
Yeah, but Tamara, what do you love about Christmas to get us back on track?
Yeah.
I'm skipping this one.
You're skipping this one? All right. I mean, fair. I did say no one had to answer these questions.
Mine's just going to be sad, so I'm skipping it.
Hey, mine's probably just as sad. My favorite part of Christmas is when it ends. December 26th. That's my best. That's my favorite part of the month.
That's still a holiday in the UK.
Yeah, here too.
Let's see. Aaron asks,
John.
What's your favorite food for Christmas? What's your favorite Christmas food, Avelos?
I think is there any real food that it's like just a Christmas food? I feel like there's always others, but one of the things I immediately gravitate towards is sweet potatoes. Like I love sweet potato.
Hell yeah.
Like you can have it regular. You can have it doused in cinnamon sugar. If you do butter, whatever. But they're just really good.
All right, B.
In the UK, we do a lot of chocolates that are specifically for Christmas only, and I like those. It's the only time I really eat chocolate, I guess.
All right, Cat.
It's the same thing I would go for Thanksgiving because we cook kind of the same, but we make this green bean casserole that I absolutely adore.
All right.
So,
John, Christmas food?
Terry's chocolate orange.
Who?
Chocolate orange. All right.
That's included in our UK list of chocolates that come out for Christmas.
Yeah, it's good. I quite like them. I get them every year.
All right. What about you, Fox?
Seen this box.
Honey ham.
Honeyed ham. All right. I love ham. I know Rob doesn't. So, Rob, what about you? What's your favorite Christmas food?
Turkey.
I like turkey.
My family basically cooks the same thing for Thanksgiving and Christmas. So.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Tamara, do you have a favorite Christmas food?
Yes, that would be crumb bonbons.
Excuse me?
Crumb bonbons. Bonbons. It's
Crumb
basically
bonbons.
my great grandmother's recipe, and it's these balls that are like crumbs and coconut and a bunch of other stuff, and they're cooked in a pot, and then you roll them into balls, and but they're so much work that Mom only makes a few of them every year, and I've only made them a couple of times because they're so much work, but they are just she only makes them once a year, so they're that big Christmas treat for me.
All right. My answer is going to be pizza because I don't eat anything specific for Christmas, and I love pizza. So there you go. Let's see. HD, I guess that's Roblox.
It is.
What is your favorite Christmas memory? Avelos.
So there was a really bad snowstorm around where I live quite a few years ago, and you would think roads were shut down and everything like that, but I love the Christmas memory about it because it wasn't on Christmas, but it was 3 weeks before. But since everything was so bad, my entire the family who was home had to stay home, and we just did things together, and I valued that a lot.
Okay. B?
My favorite Christmas memories would probably when I worked in a school. So I worked at an elementary school of really young children, and they get really excited, and it makes you kind of more excited, I guess. Doing the nativity plays and things like that, and Christmas performances and stuff with the young children. I like doing that because it was nice seeing them get excited, even when I wasn't.
All right, Kat. Yeah. Oh,
Kat has no memories of Christmas.
No memories. She has amnesia. This is Kat's first Christmas.
Severe
I don't
memory
have
loss.
any that really stand out as significant. So
See, you could have gone with the suck-up answer again and been the first Christmas I watched you guys do the live stream.
That was one of the things I thought about, but I've already given that as a semi-answer to something else.
Wow.
Yeah, to clarify, Kat, there's only going to be one check in the mail, regardless of how much.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can say it how many times you want.
John, what about you? You got any good Christmas memories? You got like 30 kids. You must have some memories.
Probably. Okay, so without getting too soppy specifically, and there's now a question in the chat, by the way, Webby.
Okay.
So my first Christmas in the UK was probably the weirdest one I was ever had, because my family arrived in the beginning of December, and we were living we were in a room basically with the four of us, kind of sharing it initially because that was kind of what we had at the time. And then we got our first rental in Cardiff and moved in there. So our first Christmas was with us with a 2-foot tall tree with little cheap presents that we bought out of a dollar store, or I guess a pound store in Cardiff, and and we had a clock radio. We had no TV, no nothing. We just had a clock radio. That was basically how I brought in the millennium. So that was probably my biggest memory because it was such a big move that we'd made. We got together this first one as the four of us together in Britain, and
maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'd maybe moved in 2 weeks before that. I was still working in the job in Bristol, so I was taking the train, which was a long trip, and yeah, with no money and no nothing, but we were happy because we had finally gotten settled in. So I think that was the biggest one I can remember where it was like significant enough. I mean, there's been loads where it's like, oh, I got this present and that present, but that's the one I remember as being significant, other than in California, kind of a similar experience where I was there with nobody I knew, no family members, and this family went out of their way to make sure that we actually were a part of it, which they didn't have to, and that was another one. So again, I keep stealing two for one answer.
I mean, that's fine.
Taking 50 minutes for
Also,
a question.
Webby,
Yeah,
there's
no.
a question also in the Discord.
Okay.
So you know.
Oh, in the Discord.
Just so you know.
Too. Wow.
Yep.
All right, Fox. What's your? Do you have any memories? Favorite Christmas memories?
Passing that one.
Pass on that one. All
Do you
right.
have any memories?
What is Christmas?
Rob.
Well, I have two answers to that. One is when I was little, we asked Santa for a Nintendo, and my parents were adamant that Santa was not going to bring that to us. They're like, Santa's elves can't make a Nintendo an entertainment system for you, blah, blah, blah. So we got a bunch of other stuff, and then my dad was like, oh, there looks like there's one more box back there. So we went back, and it was a Nintendo when we opened it. We were so excited. And then my other one was one year my ex and I had gone to get a Christmas tree, and I slipped and fell on ice, and I tore a bunch of ligaments in my foot, and I couldn't walk. So I was like super depressed because I couldn't do any of my decoration
What a
stuff.
great memory.
Super
No,
memory.
but my ex went out and she cut down a tree herself, and she brought it home and decorated it and decorated the yard and everything for me. And that was like a really nice thing.
Oh.
All right. Tamara, do you have a favorite Christmas memory?
Not one specifically. I guess more an amalgamation of when I was really little and we still were getting real trees. And they'd put us on some sleds and we'd go out into the field and we'd pick one out from the field and drag it home. And some years the snow was up to here on me, and I just an amalgamation of those memories. That's pretty much it. So
Okay.
yeah.
I actually
Going and getting the tree.
do have an answer for this one. Back when I did celebrate Christmas and actually looked forward to it, my uncle Billy would always have a Christmas party every year. And the thing that I loved most about it was there was an upside down Christmas tree party where, you'd put the Christmas tree in the little metal bracket with the legs or whatever, but he would screw his into the ceiling so the Christmas tree was literally upside down. So that was fun. It's really the only thing I can remember that stuck out. All right. From ZX Froggy ZX or XZ. Do you have any unique or funny Christmas traditions? Starting with Avelos.
No.
Okay.
Not that I can think of immediately. No. Watch me remember it in 15 minutes. But
That's fine. We could just
How it works.
call it out 15 minutes from now. That's all. Be like, oh, hey, remember that question 5 questions ago? Yeah, this is the answer. B, do you have any unique or interesting traditions that you do for Christmas?
I don't think so. I think they might be unique or weird to Americans, but not British people. They're just the usual, I guess. The only exciting thing we might do is that my mom makes us all wear matching Christmas pajamas on Christmas Eve. But that's the only thing I can really think of.
All right. Kat? Or do you have another one of these?
No.
Just checking.
Christmas Eve, everyone always opens one present, and that one present is usually pajamas. Recently, it's been matching. And then, just simple little things like that. Socks sometimes, but it gets everyone dressed in their pajamas earlier in the day and ready to go to bed, so
All right.
it helps with the little ones.
John?
Well, the one I can think of that's most obvious is on December 24th, my family, what we do for that day is we don't do any actual cooking. We just get finger foods, and basically you just, for the evening meal, you just go up and grab crackers and meats and cheeses and vegetables and just eat that way because it's easy, especially with the big meal coming the next day, so you're not worrying about that kind of stuff.
Yep.
That and watching a particular movie that we watch pretty much every year.
Gremlins?
Is the only... Yeah, Gremlins,
No.
that's it. No, it's Die Hard, absolutely.
Hey, I mean, I wouldn't fault you for either one of them. Gremlins, I
I
usually
know
watch
you
every
wouldn't.
year around this
It's
time.
neither of those. It's Patrick Stewart's Christmas Carol.
Oh, all
But
right.
Also,
that's
John, you forgot your weird one where you don't put any any
Christmas presents under the tree.
presents
That's
under
true.
the tree.
Fair
until
enough. I forgot about that
morning.
one. Yeah, now that
Really weird.
occurred because we were, when we didn't have a lot of presents, we started with that one.
Well, no, because Marlon's first Christmas tried tearing everything open.
Oh, right. Yes, our oldest tried to rip everything open the first Christmas when we put presents under the tree. So to avoid that, and then our animals trying to do the same, we just stopped putting presents under the tree. So the presents all stay up in our room until it's the evening of the 24th, and then we bring them all down. And as the kids kind of know about other things, we get more of them involved in bringing it all down. So it goes from 0 to 60 in no time flat.
All right. Fox?
Now, not really, but when I was little, Christmas Eve, we'd kind of gamble for one present. My mom's one plan, make us play games, do something together, was all right, here's your one present for Eve, but to open it, you got to win at this game. And we just
Russian
keep playing until everyone yeah.
Nice.
For little children, it's gambling for a present.
All right. What about you, Rob?
I mean, it's not super unique because I know other people that kind of do this, but my friends, we all every year get together and we get the weirdest thing we can find for $10 or less, and we wrap them up and we put them in a big pile, and then we draw numbers, and each person gets to open one at a time, and then you can switch with anybody that has already opened if you want one of theirs instead. But we always try to find the weird things that we could find under $10.
All right. Tamara?
Dan's doing that. It's gonna be fun.
Whoa, everything just
We lost
switched.
Avelos for a second.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Avelos switched off his camera, so that moved everything around.
it should be back. Sorry.
Yep, no, it's fine. It doesn't hurt anything.
Family-wise, nothing out of the ordinary at all, except, we weren't allowed to unwrap any gifts until Mom and Dad had their coffee in hand. Other than that, but the one that sticks out is the one that I started when I was in Calgary. And friends invited me to what they call non-trad, which is basically non-traditional, and they pick a nation's type of food, so Jamaican or whatever, and everybody has to bring a dish that works with that. And then we do the same thing, a Chinese gift exchange, like Rob said, and it's a gift that's no more than $20. And the thing that made it unique was you wrapped it up to disguise it as best you can. Somebody wrapped up a book it would look like the top of like a mannequin torso, stuff like that. So you'd like try and wrap it so it was as unique as possible. And then we'd do the same gift exchange as Rob there.
One year I brought like a huge square box, but inside it wasn't a box, it was a Tupper, like a big Tupper container thing, and it was filled with like soda and chips and stuff.
Nice, yeah. Things like that, right? And that one was fun because it was all friends, and we'd all pack into well, my mind just blanked on his name. I know his name, it's just gone out of my head right now because I've been drinking and I'm tired. And we'd all pack into this tiny 1-bedroom apartment that he had to do this, and there'd be like 30 of us in there. It was insane. And then he had this one couch, IKEA couch, that had a white cover on it, and he would have markers out and everybody would get to draw on it.
Well, all right.
And I miss that. I had to give that up when I moved away from Calgary, and
get yourself a white Nokia couch.
Nokia.
I have
IKEA. Nokia, yeah, cell phone couch? What up?
Yeah.
It'll never break.
I actually have a white one at the farm right now that I used to have in Calgary, but it's not the same, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. The only tradition I ever had growing up was whenever we decorated the tree, my only contribution was I would go to my dad's toolbox up in the garage, and I would find a really small crescent wrench, and I would bring it back up to the house, and I would shove that onto one of the branches of the tree. Not sure why. It just kind of stuck, so every time there's a tree around, I always stick a wrench on it.
Nice.
So, okay, moving on. What was that?
I actually did remember one now.
Well, there we go. See?
But I waited till the end. So it's odd and it's a little sad, so I'm glad we all got all the happy out. But every year for Christmas, my immediate family, we do a lot of cookies. Like that's, you give chocolate chip cookies to people. Well, for years now, we've been baking cookies for loved ones that have gone and gone to the places where they're resting and leave a cookie there for the holidays. Yeah, and we do that every year. So that's kind of the sad, but it brings the remaining family closer. So good and bad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. There was the question in the Twitch chat.
Yep, I have it. I can read it.
Sure.
So, what is everyone who's present favorite anime? If you have one, what is it? Why is it your favorite? And if not, what kind of anime would you like to watch? And that is from Fluff.
All right.
So I will start, I guess.
Yep.
It's a really, really old anime that I saw on Adult Swim one time, but I love the morbid, the bloody, and the crazy, and it was called Blood Plus. It was about I think it was about a vampire, and there was some kind of girl, and there was so much fighting, and I don't remember. I was 15, but it just fascinated me, and I've never finished it. So,
all right,
I should probably do that.
Put it on your list. B, do you watch anime? Do you have a favorite anime?
I've only ever seen Spirited Away. It's the only one I've ever seen ever.
All right.
It was good, but I'm not interested in them personally.
I wasn't either until Devin started a segment on SU where he would have me watch 3 different animes, only watch the first episode or 2, and then we would talk about it because he was trying to find out if there was an anime that I would like. But yeah, we'll get to me. Kat, what about you?
Log Horizon.
Who?
Log Horizon.
What's that?
It's basically they get stuck in a video game world, and lots of things change, and it's just really interesting to watch.
All right. John, what about you? I'm scared to ask.
Wow, okay. I have a bunch that I could think of, and I was trying to decide which one I would consider to be the best. So my runner-up would be One Punch Man, because I love that show. But the one I actually like, I've actually owned, I think, if not all of it, pretty much all of it, was Ranma 1/2, which is super crazy, funny fighting, but it's mostly humorous. and it's very Japanese in its mentality, which is just funny.
All right. Fox, what about you?
I'd have to say the one I started recently, Gleipnir.
Okay,
It's just weird. It's just really weird one about just basically being able to grant one wish to a literal extent from everybody, and it's just a whole portrayal on: do you choose greed or do you choose benefiting everybody? And just in wacky anime fighting, so it's kind of just interesting.
All right. Rob?
I guess my favorite would be. I was deciding between two, but I think Yu-Gi-Oh is my favorite. Because at the time when I first started watching it a long time ago, I was really into Magic, and the idea of an over-the-top dramatic card game was just like, I was like, yeah, this is good.
You've activated
my runner-up. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying, you activated my trap card.
Yeah. My runner-up was Full Metal Alchemist, though, because I really like that one too.
All right.
The original or Brotherhood?
I have only seen the original, but I hear Brotherhood is better, so I'm going to watch it at some point.
Tamara, what about you? Anime?
Basically, my absolute favorites are tied, and that's Attack on Titan, and Atla. But I've only seen the first season of Attack on Titan because that's all Netflix has. So I would love to finish it someday, but I absolutely love the first season. And, Avatar: The Last Airbender, obviously, we all know why.
Okay.
I love the story and everything. But before those came along, I'd only ever seen one anime that I'd really loved, and that was Astro Boy.
Nothing wrong with Astro Boy.
It was a cartoon I watched when I was a little kid, and I loved Astro Boy.
Is that considered an anime?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
it's a Japanese-made anime.
Yep.
Okay, so
it was just made in the 60s, Webby, that's all.
I have something to say about Avatar: The Last Airbender here.
Uh-oh.
I had never seen it up until recently. And Avelos and a few other people recommended that I sit down and I watch this show. So I did, and I was like, okay. The first couple episodes, I was like, I don't know. It's okay.
It takes a bit to get rolling. But it really does.
But I liked the animation of it, so I was like, okay, I'll stick with it for a little while. Then I fell in love with a couple characters, and then without giving no spoilers or nothing, one of the characters gets kidnapped midway through. I bawled my eyes out. I was a little baby. Man, I was so upset. I get emotional.
It's so good
about it.
Like every aspect of that show is just.
It is. It is a fantastic show. Man, that might be my favorite now. I don't know. It's tough. Devin had me watch two that I fell in love with. One of them is Rising of the Shield Hero. Was a great one. The other one, I don't remember its actual name, but it's essentially, I think the English version, the English name of it is How to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon or something like that.
That's an anime.
Yeah, there's an actual name for it. I don't remember. But that was another phenomenal anime. Very video game-esque. So, all right, there's that question. Back to the top of my list here. James S. asks,
You can skip them.
what is your favorite part on, thing about Amaranth?
Oh, God.
I'm assuming that question is directed towards me, James. And if it is, it's the red hair. I don't know. I'm a sucker for redheads. What can I say? Are there other parts of her that are nice to look at? Yeah, I guess. Sure. It's not the ASMR part. Is James even? Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
All right. Robone asks, what's your favorite Christmas song? Let's start with Avelos on that one. You mentioned this, didn't you?
Yeah, I was going to say, I already mentioned this unintentionally. It's really good. When Christmas Comes to Town from the Polar Express. But there's so many other good songs. Skip me and I'll think on it, because that is my first one that comes to mind. But I would like to maybe give it a different answer.
Okay. B, do you have a favorite Christmas song?
I really like Underneath the Tree by Kelly Clarkson.
Okay. Cat?
I can't think of any. I've got too many running through my head with band and choir and all that.
Just
So
pick one. Just pick one. It can be your one for right now. It doesn't have to be your one forever.
Where Are You Christmas?
Okay. Never heard of it. But hey, I trust you.
You listen, everyone's heard of Mariah Carey singing Where Are You Christmas?
Mariah Carey.
John, what about you? Favorite Christmas song?
Good King Wenceslas. I'll go traditional.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Good King Wenceslas.
Okay.
You've never heard of that one?
Okay.
Anytime
Christmas music comes on the radio, I shut the radio off.
Okay, well, fair enough.
Well, we know Webby's answer.
Fox, what about you?
For the most part, I'm the same as you, so I guess I'd have to say Making Christmas from Nightmare Before.
Okay. Rob?
Oh, that's a good one.
I mean, the Nightmare Before Christmas ones are good, but my absolute favorite is I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. Only a hippopotamus will do.
I don't even know what you're singing. I don't like what is happening right now. Tamara, what about you?
Again, it's a tie. Dominic the Donkey. Meow, meow. And we three kings of Orient are trying to smoke a rubber cigar. It exploded. No,
it was
how it goes
loaded.
now,
It
but
exploded.
it was loaded. We exploded. Silent.
Now we're on Yonder Star.
Okay.
No, that's not how we
That's
sung
the
it.
version I knew.
My answer is Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. It's always a good one.
Grandma.
So I think that's the only one I'd ever actually listen to. Let's see. Who else we got here? Rose Afton. What's your favorite time of the year? So we're slowly sliding out of the Christmas stuff.
Yay.
We'll be back in a second. Don't worry.
Probably.
Is that
warm
first?
in here.
Me? Okay, I didn't want to just assume.
Yeah, Alex, favorite time of year.
So I really enjoy when fall happens, but mostly because I'm more of an. I know I just said I'm tired earlier, so don't give me dagger looks. But I love the moonlight, and you stand the best chance of it getting darker sooner. So you can walk out at 7:30 at night and just kind of see the moon in the sky, and the air is nice and cool. So you don't necessarily need a jacket all the time, or a light. Whatever. So that's my favorite time of year, and then Halloween falls in it. So,
all right. B, what's your favorite time of year?
I love fall. I just like all the colors and the oranges and stuff like that. And when it starts to get cold, but it's not unbelievably freezing.
All right, Kat.
I would go with fall as well because I like
we're
when
gonna
it
get a
cools
lot
off.
of fall people here.
Look, I hate the heat outside, and I'm not living in the best place to deal with that. And my room gets really warm. In fact, I'm looking at my little gauge right now, and it's 77 degrees in Fahrenheit in here right now. But
You live in Florida?
To change out of my hoodie.
Yeah, but you're wearing a fur hat and a long sleeve shirt.
You're wearing a dead
I know.
wolf on your head.
I can take this off, but I don't want to change out of my hoodie. So I'm dealing with it, but my room just runs warmer than the rest of the house, and it drives me nuts.
All right. John, favorite time of year?
So if we're talking just seasons, summer.
Okay. Any particular reason?
Because I hate the cold.
All right.
Bluntly. And I live in Canada, so it doesn't get unseasonably hot.
Yeah.
So.
Fox.
Ever, John? Whatever.
Hey, I've lived in places where it gets hotter than it does here, ma'am.
Plus 30 is warm enough. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. I lived in California. It was 41, 42 quite often. Thank you.
Fox.
Winter's great.
Oh yeah, but you don't get
Great.
snow.
It's comfortably
Celsius.
cold, and it's cold enough to scare
Celsius.
Floridians away.
Celsius, you dumb.
I'm my business.
I'll translate that for you as
All right.
100, 107. How about that?
So Fox, you choose winter. Rob, what about you?
Because all the boys take off their shirts and walk around.
Summer it is.
The real answer is Halloween. Always Halloween. October. Specifically October.
Tamara, what about you?
Way too
I'm a fall person too, just because it's not too hot, not too cold. Halloween. And yeah, I can start to see Orion again in the fall. So,
All right.
my
Yeah.
favorite constellation.
I'm
Which is why my
also-
daughter's middle name is that.
I'm also a fall person. Living where I do, I like seeing all of the different, like all the leaves change to different colors. But with that being said, I fucking hate leaf peepers. Okay? They can just Google it. They don't need to come touristing into, my neck of the woods for this.
Leaf peepers. I just realized what you were saying.
I hate it.
Sounds like a bug.
Anyway.
It's
Nah, it's just people who are like, oh, well, let's go up
from
to
New York.
the
They're coming up to
northeast.
see the
Yeah,
trees.
let's go to northeast and just look at all the leaves and take pictures. It's like, go get the hell out of my state. All right. Hey, Avelos, you were right. We're back to a Christmas question.
Told you.
This one's from Crybaby. What was the best Christmas? I'm guessing that meant gift. What was the best Christmas gift you think you've ever received? Starting with Avelos.
I think I would say when I think it was my senior year in high school. My grandparents gave me, or I had graduated high school and it was my senior year because I'm born in the summer. So they had given me a bank account that they had opened for me that had about almost $2,000 in it, and it was enough for me to buy my first car. So that was probably one of my most appreciated gifts, because beyond that, it was like, I want Pokemon Red, and then the next year was I want Pokemon Yellow, type thing as a kid. So I think that's my favorite.
All right. B, favorite Christmas gift.
I think when I was a kid, there was this TV show in the UK called Noddy, and I really loved it and loved the character in it. And one year, my parents bought me the doll from Noddy that when you push it, it would sing the theme tune and stuff. And I just really loved it. And I just felt like I was only really, really tiny. I just remember being really happy with it and enjoying it. So,
All right. Kat?
I don't know if it counts, but
It's the stream again, I swear.
Your guys' friendship.
Yeah.
this Christmas we're fixing up an old car for me.
All
In
right.
fact, my parents already gave me a present of these to
Oh,
go on
pink
the
fuzzy
car.
dice.
Nice.
I have white fuzzy dice hanging on the wall behind me, right near the thermostat.
Yeah, no, they gave me this. I don't know where it is, but I've got the handle to the car somewhere on my desk.
Handles?
But we're getting that fixed up this year. So
What's a handles to a car?
it's for the front door of it. 'Cause
Oh.
the handle on it's broken.
The door handle.
So
Oh,
they
okay,
just
those
gave me
handles.
The door handle.
My immediate thought was like it was a steering wheel, and I'm like, but they're not called handles, so yeah.
So you're fixing up an old car?
Yes.
How old?
It's not super old. It's old
Okay.
enough to count as a classic, but it's like a little over 20 years.
Oh, okay.
It's a decent little car, though.
I was
So early
expecting her to
2000s.
say like a 1999 Honda. It's like
It's a
that's
Prius,
not old. Come on.
I mean, she just said 20 years ago. That's 1999.
Oh crap! You're right.
It's a little over 20.
No.
I just know it's at
Yeah.
least.
Oh, yeah.
mess.
No.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody's like,
Everybody
oh,
on the
I'm
call, just
old.
let that sink in for a minute.
Oh.
Thanks, Kat.
Sorry.
You did this. You did this to us,
The
John. What
youngest
about
one
you?
in the chat.
This stream is ruined.
Yeah.
John, favorite Christmas gift?
So I was telling my boys about this the other day. So when I was in, we went to a friend's house when I was very little down in the U.S. and they went nuts. Like, I seriously, honestly don't understand why, but they went ballistic and bought me stuff I'd never ever got before. And one of the things that they bought me was this toy aircraft carrier with, I don't know how big it was. I feel like it was like that, but it probably was more like that. And it had Nerf airplanes, and you could put the Nerf airplanes on this launcher and then pull it, and they would launch off the launcher into the sky. And man, I remember that thing. I played with that thing so much as a little kid. That was probably my favorite, like, non-Oogie Poogie type Christmas present. Like, one where I'm like, yeah, I love this. It was killer for me.
All right, Fox. What about you?
I had to buy a Game Boy, actually.
All right, our
Growing
answers
up,
are going to
I-
be similar.
Yeah, growing up, I did not get a lot of cool stuff or like really techie things. We didn't have the money for that. I see my parents would feel bad because my cousin would have like, oh, the DS and all that, and I didn't. And one day they saved up and got a used Game Boy and Pokemon Sapphire for me for Christmas, and I played that for 10 years straight, and it's
All right.
still somewhere on my bookshelf.
All right, Rob. What about you?
I don't really have like a gift answer. Like, I'm gonna go with a sappy and say my brother, because he was born on the 20th, but they brought him home on Christmas Eve. So, but as for like gifts, I couldn't really think of anything that super stood out. So,
Shit. Now you're making me rethink my answer. All right.
So if you look in Discord, that's the toy I got.
John, we're talking about Rob's brother.
I know.
Okay.
It's really sweet and
No
everything.
one cares
but
about
I-
your aircraft carrier anymore.
It was so cool.
All right.
Well, it was pretty big, though.
Tamara, what about you? Favorite gift or best gift?
Again, it's a tie. This is just how I function. Sorry, everyone. As a kid, it would be the one year my parents actually got me something I'd asked for. Every other year, it was like something practical or something cheap because, well, we were poor and stuff. So like, I didn't get a Furby or anything, despite really wanting one, or a Cabbage Patch Kid or anything like that. But I got a blanket. I know that sounds stupid, but it was one of those fleece blankets and it had a unicorn on it, and I was into unicorns back then. I really wanted it, and it was the first time they'd actually got me something I'd actually asked for. So it was actually like one of the last times they did it too. So yay, like my brother got like Super Nintendo and all that shit, and then it came to me and it's like, we're broke, here. Have something cheap. And as an adult, it would be sorry, this one's gonna make me cry. One of the last gifts Tyler ever gave me. And that was my Lowlander sword. He actually got the handle custom wrapped and everything, and I'd been wanting that thing for like 2 years straight. And that was like one of the last Christmases I ever had with him at my parents' place. It's still up on my wall, so I think that one's actually tops the blanket even. But yeah, so sorry.
No.
You have to apologize.
Yeah, you don't have to apologize.
Sorry, now I'm crying, damn it.
We're sending you hugs from across the pond. And land, for those who aren't across the pond.
For the audience that doesn't know better, Tyler passed away sadly in April, so that's why it's... I must be more tired than I thought. I didn't think it'd trigger me that bad, but yeah. So.
Everybody's sending you their love in the chats.
For me,
Thanks, everybody.
I'm probably going to have to go emotional. Thanks, Rob. Well, you made me.
I feel like I caused both of these.
No, it's more so you reminded me of because I don't think about Christmas ever, so I didn't equate it to this. But then, you mentioned that your brother was born on the 20th or whatnot, and they brought him home on Christmas Eve or whatnot, and a couple years ago, my dad was hospitalized, and he had a heart attack, and at the time, the doctor in the hospital said, that there's a good chance he's not going to make it out of the hospital, and that we needed to mentally prepare ourselves for that. He made it through and ended up having to go to like a rehabilitation home place to kind of like relearn how to do a lot of things that were just common everyday things. And I got to bring him home on Christmas Eve. So there's my sappy Christmas Eve story. All right. Are there can we get past the Christmas questions?
I have one for you that's not Christmas related.
Shoot!
Oh, thank God.
Let's
This is
go.
from one of our chat members, Fluff. Says,
with another question?
Yep. What are you guys doing this coming New Year's? There you go. Not a Christmas question.
Oh, man, I have a New Year's tradition, but they stopped. So I don't think I haven't done it in the last couple of years. Avelos, what do you do for New Year's?
So normally I end up going to a friend's home for a party of sorts, and everybody brings a lot of food, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be, it's a common occurrence, but what makes it great is that there's always like a bonfire, and one of my really good friends is like a professional pastry chef who was on one of the American shows for it, and I can't remember, Great Bake Off or something. It's not the British one. I almost said that. But
was
so
it
just
nailed
food.
it? I love that baking show.
I don't
Have you ever
remember.
seen
I'd have
that?
to look.
Oh man, that's great.
So it's going to go. But basically, it's that. So just that tradition, or if that, since COVID has happened and we haven't been doing that lately, because safety is important. It's just been hanging out with people on Discord. I think the one time I was hanging out with Ursula's Revenge in the chat, or Alexa as we know her, we were just in a call, we were playing games, having fun, and it was midnight. Or that was Christmas, or another holiday, but it doesn't matter because that's fun too.
Yep. B, what about you? I know you just shared recently a bunch of videos of what London does for New Year's and how it blows our New Year's out of the water with the whole ball
In my
drop
opinion.
thing. No, I don't know. That was a pretty spectacular fireworks show that you showed me. So,
Is it what I do for New Year's? That's the question.
What is your plans for New Year's?
So not previous, just this year.
Yeah, I believe that was the question. Yeah,
I don't have any as of yet. I'll probably either stream or just be with my family at midnight. My family normally just sit in the living room together and watch the New Year's fireworks on TV. We don't do any crazy traditions or anything like that. We just sit together and watch it, and then everybody goes back to their own rooms a few minutes later.
All right. Kat, what about you? New Year's?
My family doesn't go out and do much. What I've been doing recently is in the VR game I play, I like going on there with a group of people. This last New Year's, actually, the servers started to die, and whatever world you were in, you were trapped there. Your friends list wouldn't load. You wouldn't be able to join any other world, so you're stuck there with the people you had. And we just ended up playing hide and seek around the big map. So I'm probably gonna go in VR again this year and hang out with everybody until the clocks strike.
All right, John, what about you?
This might sound odd, but this might be the one I pass because I really don't have anything to talk about.
All right, that's fine. Fox?
Well, New Year's Eve is my birthday, so I'll just be doing a stream. Really it.
Obviously doing a stream on his birthday. Come on.
Well, I gotta work.
All right, Rob.
KFC chicken. Oh wait, sorry. No, I'm getting involved in the chat for over there.
What's going on in chat? What are we talking about KFC for?
Ursula asked, "What is our favorite chicken restaurant?"
All right, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But for New Year's, usually, well, I had two, and now I'm back to one. But because my family, we used to get together and do like a pajama party and just play board games. But then when I got older, we had a friend's one that I went to where we all get drunk and play board games, which was much crazier and funnier. But then all of those friends then started having children. They all have children, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back to my parents and my family and stay with them instead. So then I went back the last couple of years to doing the pajama party with my family, but now I live in New Hampshire, so it'll probably be me and Webby.
Hey, you can always drive down there if you have a car by then.
That would require a vehicle, which I still don't have.
We'll go car shopping next week. That's all.
Why? You don't want to hang out in pajamas with me and play board games?
Get the hell out and go see your family.
Leave.
Tamara, I don't know if you were here for the question, but it's what are you going to be doing for New Year's this year?
Well, it's my daughter goes back that day to her dad, so probably the same thing I do 99% of my New Year's, which is either sit and watch TV until I realize it's midnight, maybe stream. I actually don't have to work that day for once, so that's nice. I don't even have to work a half day, which is rare, so yeah, probably just the same thing I do 99% of the time, either stream and or sit and watch TV.
All right.
That's it.
My New Year's tradition for the longest time has been order Chinese food because they're generally the only place that's open. Watch the Three Stooges marathon and play video games. So the sad part is I don't think they have the Three Stooges marathon anymore. They didn't the last like 2 or 3 years. So, but yeah, so that's it.
Yeah, part of my New Year's tradition with my family is watching The Wizard of Oz because they always put it on CBS or whatever on New Year's Day. What?
Nothing. All right, so this one is from Robone. Oh man, okay, so this is a 2-part question.
Oh god.
What type of presents do you usually give people during Christmas? And have you ever been really disappointed about a present that someone gave you? Let's start with Avelos.
So I'm the kind of gift giver to people where I make them tell me what they want, and I refuse. And if I figure, like, so say you're like, oh, I just want to, let's say a Target gift card, and I know they go to Target to shop for things for their family or whatever, I'll deny them and say, what item do you want? Because it's my firm belief that people, for Christmas, it's the things that you would ask for that you wouldn't normally buy yourself. And if you're willing to spend a gift on your loved ones for like your normal day to day, then I really think you deserve something. And I'm never disappointed because we didn't grow up very rich either. So, we had a nice Christmas and my parents made sure of that. But so I was just grateful for what I got.
Okay. B.
What was the question again? Sorry, I'm tired. I keep zoning.
What types of presents do you give people during Christmas? And have you ever been really disappointed about a present that someone gave you?
I tend to give people, like, I like to find stuff that they ask for or that they actually really want, but I'm really bad at gift giving, so often I'll give my mom a budget and let her pick stuff that I know people will like. And I've only ever been disappointed after I came out as trans, and like 2 years later, I had one like family member who just kept buying me like male-related things, like male like deodorant and stuff, and I was like, "Come on, get with the program, please." But other than that, no, not really. I've not I'm quite easy to please because I never really want anything specific for Christmas. I've always, like I grew up with like a low income family, so I just kind of appreciate whatever I get, you know.
Okay. Kat?
I've never really been too disappointed in a gift. Sure, there's some that's just like, oh, thanks, and I might forget I have it, but like I've never actually been disappointed in a gift because they've all got their uses, whatever it is. I will find a way to make use of it. And in terms of giving gifts to people, it's like one of the hardest things to do sometimes for me. Because it's like, what do they not have that they would like? And I have a hard time trying to figure that out. It's easier online when I hear someone talk about a game, I'm like, But with my family, I have no idea what to get them.
Sick Avelos on them. Sounds like he could get the answers out of them.
They usually don't like me at the end of that.
Too much interrogation.
All right, John, what about you?
Okay, first part, disappointed.
That's the
okay,
second
so
part.
I can
The
honest...
first part is what types of gifts do you usually give?
Oh, okay, sorry. What types of gifts do I usually give? I usually give what either I think the person will want, what hopefully at some point they've mentioned to me they want. Sometimes that doesn't work out when you hear them want something in June and it turns out come December they don't care for that anymore. And with some people, I have a code where they say hint hint on things when they're posting them on Facebook and things of that nature. So I usually do that. That's kind of the way we've gone. I'm not quite as bad as my mother. My mother got to the point where she just refused to buy me Christmas presents anymore and then just said, how much money do you want? But, that's kind of... My thing is I like buying presents for other people and I like to see them open. I don't really care so much about my own presents, which I can buy myself a lot of times. So, it's just never something I get too fussed about. As far as a present that I got that I'm disappointed in, I mean, when I was a kid, clothes was always like, no. But as an adult, I think I listed this in the chat. The most disappointing thing I ever got was from a white elephant where I got stuck with a grandma candy dish, which basically sat around our house until we gave it away at another white elephant gift because we had no use for that thing. It was like one of those green sort of jelly bean looking things. Oh, it was ugly.
All right.
So that's the closest I can come up with.
All right. Fox.
Mine's a lot like Avalos's. When it comes to giving gifts, it's a one time I'm sure I will be heard. You will be interrogated. What do you want? And same, we never really was upset at a gift. It may sit there for like a month without being looked at, and then I'll look at it, and that'll be my fixation for a week.
All right. Rob?
As for my gift giving, I am a wish list person. If you don't have a wish list, you're getting a gift card, okay? And then for disappointing gifts, one year at work, we had a Secret Santa, and this was back when I was in my late 20s, and somebody got me a bottle of wine, and back then I didn't drink it all. I was like, cool. Thanks. I think I gave it to my parents or something. It's like, oh, okay. But, yeah.
All right. Tamara?
What exactly was the question again?
So, what types of gifts do you usually give people? And have you ever been disappointed in a gift that you've received?
I love giving gifts. So basically, I just give them whatever I know that they'll like. So, I'm not one of those people that's like, I'm going to get you something practical instead. My mom. But no, I like finding something that they really like and that they're actually excited to unwrap. So,
baked goods,
I do my best
yum.
for there. I know that's a hint. Don't worry, that was the idea this year, John. So relax.
You want some of those chocolate coconut
No
choco
coconut.
balls?
Shush. Blah. No. Stop it.
No, actually, you'd like them, John. They're really good.
I
but
don't
anyways,
like coconut. I don't care how much they're good.
There's barely any coconut. But anyways,
I don't like coconut.
I'm trying to answer the question, John.
Sorry. You distracted me. I didn't do that.
Worst gift? I don't know. My mom, pretty much every year I was with my ex-husband because she'd get us something we needed. I think the worst was the year she got us a carpet shampooer. Because when I was with my ex-husband, when we were dating and when we were married, she would never get me an individual gift. She would get us a couple's gift. And it would be like a carpet shampooer, new towels, shit like this. And it's like, why? It's Christmas. Like, we have practical shit year-round. You get me practical shit for my birthday. Just something nice, you know? But no. So those would be the worst. Like, while I was with my ex, Mom would get us something we needed. Or she thought we needed. I hated those gifts so much. I still have the carpet shampooer, I will believe it.
Things like that, it's like, I got you something you needed. Here, Tamara, your carpets are so dirty.
That's pretty much the hint she was giving, yes. This is the woman that would get mad because I don't wash my walls every 6 months. The fuck does that?
As for me, I don't know how, like, what type of gift giver I am. I'm the type of person that's like, I guess it's kind of like with like Avelos and Fox. I'll be like, hey, what do you want for Christmas? And then if somebody says, oh, I don't want nothing, it's like, shut the fuck up. What do you want? Tell me. Give me something. Otherwise, I'm going to buy you lots of little things that you're probably not going to want or need. So it's one or the other. I'll spend an outrageous amount of money, or you can just tell me something and I'll get you that. I guess I blackmail people into telling me what they want. I guess that's the best way to do it. As far as being disappointed with a gift, I don't know. I tend to appreciate any gift that somebody gives me because they didn't have to get you anything to begin with. Like, they're going out of their way to get you something, you know, for whatever reason. So, I mean, it's hard to kind of feel disappointed about something like that. But I guess the closest that I could come with is I was in a relationship and it was our first Christmas together, and I had gotten her like a spa treatment and a couple other things and some flowers, and I got a Walmart gift card. It was like,
oof.
Okay,
no.
cool. I mean, I used it. I got stuff that I wanted with it. So I mean,
fair.
hey, it was still, you know, it was a gift. But I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, in situations like that, you hope that the other person puts a bit more thought into something. But
see, this is why I hate gift cards. Like people love gift cards, and don't get me wrong, they're great for situations. But like, it gives you an easy out. Like, instead of actually trying to. Like, what would you want? And even those people who are like, I would like towels or something practical, like Tamara said, it's kind of like, if that's what you truly want, I'll get it for you. But what else do you want? Like, you know, do you want something else? I gift cards are my last resort.
Right.
Yeah, no. I only do that. So for me, usually gift cards are something that I do for like stocking stuffer type things, you know, like, or like in the case of my one son, he's super picky about his clothes, but he really likes this one store. So we just get him that so that he can go to that store and get what he wants. But yeah, usually no.
So here's a nice short question from user Sylvius World, I guess. Favorite animal? Avelos, go.
The dolphin. Ever since I was a little kid, I have been fascinated with dolphins. So, yeah.
All right. B?
I have recently gained a very newfound love for foxes because I never realized how cute they are. I've been watching YouTube videos of foxes on my streams recently, and
well,
look at Fox blush! Look at him! Look at
Someone sent me a video of a fox pup, and I was just like overwhelmed with how unbelievably cute they are and precious they are. So yeah. Before that, I would have said dragons, but they're not real. So,
I saw you sent a link the other day to a Fox video. It's like
Yeah,
I've
and
just
there's,
recently started watching that exact channel, and I started binging it with a couple friends of mine because they're so adorable.
yeah, they're literally the cutest foxes ever. So now I've got a newfound love for foxes.
All right,
Ones
Kat,
that
is
don't
your
stand
answer a
upright.
fox too now?
It's a hard choice for me, honestly. I love all sorts of different animals. Like, I've got 3 dogs I adore. I've always liked cats.
You don't
I
say.
can't. Yeah, exactly. There's not. I don't think I can pick, just because there's so much.
All right, fair enough. John, favorite animal?
I mean, normally it would be dog, but if I was to say one specific animal other than just the generic dog, it would actually be a tiger, which is a cat, which is not my normal favorite. But I love tigers.
Like the orange and black tigers, or like the
Both. I like the Siberian ones too.
Siberian tiger? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Man, that one in Las Vegas.
Yeah, they're cool.
Right?
Yeah. You want to go that route? Yeah, of course. They're wild animals. Don't like go sidle up to one and go, "Hey, can I hug you, buddy?"
fair.
It's like, no. Hello, welcome.
All right, Fox, favorite animal.
What could Fox's favorite animal be?
I think it's a cat.
It's a ladybug, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a ladybug snake.
Actually, I really like ferrets. I used to have a bunch of them. I loved them.
All right. Is that actually your answer? Your favorite animal is a ferret?
Yeah, they're little noodles.
All right. little noodles. All right. Rob, what about you?
My favorite animal is right here.
No.
She's running away from me.
Doesn't count. Matilda, come here. You know you love me
Matilda.
more.
She's right here. Oh, my favorite. Hi, baby.
All right. Rob's just sucking up to his dog now.
Yeah, he is.
If you don't
Now
count
she's
Matilda,
sucking up to
then
him.
it would be the West Indian manatee. Because I used to have one that you squeezed and it said things. Like it said, "I'm a West Indian manatee," but like if you squeezed it a couple more times, it said, "I am friendly and slow moving. I like to eat and rest, and that is my life philosophy."
It's
so
Rob.
how could I not?
I'm
right.
friendly and slow moving.
Tamara, what about you? Favorite
Men.
animal?
Men.
Men? Was that your answer?
I've been drinking for a while now.
Aha!
You
Gonna
know,
say. After your
Oh,
latest
like,
obsession, I would have thought it would have been buns.
Animals. I don't know. I don't have a single favorite animal. I obviously have cats, and I love my cats, and I love my fish, and I love the rabbit. Octopuses are pretty cool because damn, they're smart and they get into little spaces.
Yeah, do that motion again. Was I the only one who caught on to that when she first did it, or what?
well,
Sorry, I didn't look. I didn't
it
notice.
wasn't like you did it. She was explaining it.
She's like, "Oh, octopuses, they get into tiny spaces."
Spaces, and they go into little spaces.
Everybody just died. Cat's dead. Rob's dead. Fox's model glitched.
It's definitely dead. I could see that.
I mean,
had to just
on a
shake
happy
it.
note,
Cameras, everyone.
my back doesn't hurt anymore.
Well, that's good. Drinking will do that.
Funny enough.
Here at SU, we do not promote underage drinking.
Yeah, that's why
I
Cat
am
is not
41,
drinking.
so I'm
Go to
safe.
Commercials. Cut the camera.
We've consulted the SU lawyers, and they told us shut the fuck up. So we will.
There we go.
Yeah, muted marriage webcams.
Please remove this woman and also express that you don't agree with any of their beliefs or opinions.
What'd you say, Rob? Oh man! Oh, okay. No, we can't get into this conversation again. It's gonna open up a whole new can of worms.
Yeah. No.
Let's see. My favorite animal. I love pandas. If we're gonna get into like more generic, I love bears in general, but I love pandas. If I'm gonna talk about something that I could possibly own, I'm not gonna lie. My dad raised them, and I've always really wanted a pet skunk. I don't know, they fascinate me, and they look so soft and cuddly. So, but yeah,
They can be, from what I understand.
they act like cats, from what my dad always told me. They're very temperamental, and in the wintertime they'll steal your socks and make little nests underneath the cupboards. So, but yeah, obviously pandas. I mean, this is, John got me this a couple years ago now.
More than a couple, yeah. I think it was like 3 or 4.
So yeah. What time? How long what time do we do the next thing?
We got 20 minutes.
I forgot to ship it.
20
I forgot
minutes.
to ship it. It's been a year, but I will get your gift to you this year, I swear. The one I said I was going to send you last year. I just remembered it. It's sitting in my hallway.
I honestly don't remember you saying anything to me about it.
I asked for your address. It's sitting in my hallway. Still.
I must not have connected A and B. People always ask me, "Hey, where do you live?" And I'm just like, blah 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 blah. I don't question why they want my address.
But you just give it
one day.
Yeah,
It shows up.
Listen, people think I'm joking when I said this before, but Rob can attest. Before Rob moved in, I never locked my front door. My front door was unlocked all the time. You could just literally walk into my house. My truck keys out in my driveway, I'd leave my keys in my truck. If somebody's going to come and take it. It's your headache now. I don't care. It's whatever. But, now every time I go out in the morning or whatever, the door's locked because Rob locks the door every night because he's paranoid that people are going to break into the house. And I'm like, Rob, if they break into the house, first off, they got to get through me before they can even get to you. And it'll wake me up when they break into the house.
He did not even have a lock on the door that worked.
Wow.
No, it worked. I just didn't have the key for it.
Well, then that means it doesn't work.
The roommate debate going on now.
Well, the reason I convinced him was because if both of us were out and someone just walked in, Matilda would run out the door trying to find us. So that's what convinced him to put a new lock in.
All right, this one's from Zombie Snow White. Sabrina, what's your favorite bad movie? We actually recently talked about this on SU. So, starting with Avelos.
What would we call bad?
Like,
I guess,
bad movie. Yeah?
Like
B-rated
it's
movie,
so bad-
maybe? I don't know.
Like it's so bad it's good.
Like 2 stars on IMDb? I don't know. That's what we did talk about on SU, like movies that were just so terrible that they're good.
Yeah, I think James asked that question at some point before.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space, man.
Never seen it.
Oh, it's phenomenal. And it's horrible at the same time.
I'm a pass.
All right. Pass. B, do you have a favorite bad movie?
I don't not really, because I don't feel like I'd watch it if it was bad. I'm not really a movie person.
Okay.
Don't watch a lot of movies, to be honest.
All right. Kat? I feel like there's going to be a lot of passing here on this round. I don't know.
I've actually got an answer.
All right, let's hear it.
It was just a bad movie in general, though.
Life After Beth?
It wasn't put together great. But my mom and I saw the trailer and thought it would be good, so we went to see it in the theaters. It's called Greta.
What was
we were
it?
so disappointed.
Greta.
Oh, all right.
We were so disappointed after going to the theater to watch it because we expected it to be really good, and then it was not.
Okay. John?
Oh, man. I think I'm not sure, but the best answer I can give, unfortunately, is more like a category of movies because it's basically any Godzilla movie, good or bad, I will watch.
Right.
So I've watched some really, really trashy ones from the 60s and the 70s.
You could literally see the zipper on the...
Yeah. Or my favorite ones are like, they've got like an ape one fighting him or some Mecha Godzilla, and all those things are so dumb, but they're funny to watch. So...
All right, what about you, Fox? Favorite bad movie?
It would probably be Get Smart.
Mm.
Stupid comedy, spy movie. They tried so hard to be funny, but nothing was funny in it whatsoever. Yeah, I could sit there and watch it on loop.
Okay. Rob, dare I ask? I know you're not a movie person, but
Well, any of the ones from Mystery Science Theater 3000, I love watching those, but I don't think those really count because they're supposed to be bad to be made fun of. There's one that me and my brother and a couple of our friends tried to sit through 3 times and had to bail each time because it was so terrible. It's Cabin Boy.
I love Cabin Boy.
Yeah, we could not watch it to the end. When Poseidon shows up, we're just like, no.
Oh, no way. Dude, I love Cabin Boy. Me and you, we're going to sit down and watch Cabin Boy now.
I've never made it through to the end once.
Oh, we will now.
We'll see.
Why do I think Tamara's about to pull out Cabin Boy?
All right, Tamara, what's your favorite bad movie?
I wanted to watch Cabin Boy when I was a kid, but I never got the chance. But favorite bad movies that were made to be bad, so they would be so good, would be Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness. All-time favorite. I mean, any Bruce Campbell movie, it's made to be bad. But it's made to be so bad, it's really good.
Okay.
But on bad movies that weren't intentionally bad, this piece of slosh.
Ooh, where is it?
Dark
Rising.
Dark
Looks like a
Rising.
porno.
It's
That one.
basically
Yeah, it does.
every sexy fantasy trope that they could get, and they mashed it all together.
Is that what you were going to send me for Christmas? Is that what was in your hallway?
No. This is what
No,
I
she has a legitimate present.
Oh, I got
so
excited
bad.
when she showed me the cover of this one.
No. It's so bad, it's just plain bad, but it's bad in a way I can just sit there and laugh my way through.
Okay.
So that's my top bad movie. But as I said, anything with Bruce Campbell in it, especially Army of Darkness, where it's supposed to be bad good. So I love Bruce Campbell.
So I got like I got a tie. No. Okay, kind of. I have one that's my favorite, and then I have a tie for second place. So my favorite bad movie, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I love that movie. A bunch of evil clowns from space wrap you up in cotton candy cocoons and then stick silly straws in there and drink you. It's great.
I love that movie.
They explode into confetti.
Yeah.
Oh, gross.
So tied
Sounds
for second
nasty.
place is a movie called Rubber about a telekinetic tire that rolls around and blows people's heads up. Or Zombievers, which is a movie about zombie beavers.
Okay.
So yeah,
that's quite the one.
Rubber is fantastic. They had a sequel to it, so it did pretty good. I'm just saying. Throwing that out there. Go watch the trailer for Rubber, everyone. You'll see it. Okay, here's one that me and Rob had previously discussed.
Oh God, yes.
If you had to be trapped in a haunted mansion
this.
with one of the people on this call for a week, who would you pick and why? So, Avelos, we're not going to start with you this time.
The problem was that Fox wasn't in our deliberations.
That's fine. It doesn't matter. My answer's staying the same.
Yeah.
We're going in reverse order.
It's not you, Fox. Just FYI.
We're going in reverse order because I want to get my thought process out here. I narrowed it down to B and Cat.
Same. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Now, when
attacked.
When I talked about this, me and Rob talked, and we're like, well, B, if it's like a haunted mansion or something, and somebody was in there and after you, B might be the type of person where it's like, I don't have to outrun the killer, I just have to outrun you, and then you just leave us to die. Cat, playing Dead by Daylight with Cat has given me a new perspective. Cat would just annoy the killer into just either complacency or just leaving. Like, Cat would be the killer's worst nightmare, and the killer would just be like, this is not worth it to me. I have better things to do. So my choice would be to hang out with Cat for a week in this haunted mansion.
Whereas Tamara would
now-
probably join with the killer to
Yeah.
get
Now
you.
here was my thought process was I would not pick John. John,
Well,
John would scream at every sound and
Yeah.
noise.
John would he'd be worse than me. And I'm a scaredy cat when it comes to haunted stuff. Tamara,
You're gonna love my
I'm
choice,
sorry,
then.
Tamara, but fuck you, you'd make it creepier. You'd start singing along with it. You'd go run off into a different room down the hallway and be like, Webby. I'd be like, Tamara, there's a fucking ghost in here, all right?
Stop it!
Yeah, and
Fox
then we
wasn't
did not
part of
choose-
this call at the point when me and Rob talked about
Yeah,
it.
Avelos and Fox were not in our deliberations, and then we did not choose each other because I would want to go explore the haunted house, and Webby would want to sit in a corner with all the lights on.
I would pick a room, and that would be the room that I stayed in and fortified for a week.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we picked Cat because if there was danger, Cat would be like and jumping in front of it, like, come on.
Yeah. So Tamara, since we're going in reverse order,
Oh, hold
I
on,
mean,
wait.
you'd assume there'd be a killer.
Yeah,
Dave.
well,
Dave
it's
just
a
brought up the point.
haunted mansion, so killer,
Yeah.
ghost, whatever.
Yeah.
Unless it's Casper, I don't want nothing to do with it. All right, I don't do well with haunted
Fair.
stuff. So Tamara, who on this call would you want to spend a week with in a haunted mansion?
In this call,
Yep.
I'd actually have to say Avelos. Simply because he'd just be like, oh, the walls are bleeding again. Really? Can we not do this? I'm sorry, like
Yeah.
Avelos. Like,
Blood coming down the walls. Avelos is like, I'm going to need you to stop doing that.
I'll get the mop.
I could kind of see that. I could kind of
I
see
just
that.
see the whole attitude, right? I'll be like, I'll get the mop.
Exactly. Like, is it Friday yet? Can we go home?
Yeah. And again, yeah, John would be like, ah! Well,
like how
he
they're
would
like,
pretty
"You
much
just
be
run
almost
away."
the same attitude, I think. She'd be very similar. She'd be like, can you just not?
All right. Rob, we
But
pretty
yeah.
much already talked about what your choice would be. We both picked the same person.
Yep.
Fox, what's your answer on this one?
My answer would have to be Cat also.
All right.
I could just sit there and just
Popular
accept
option.
what's happening. I don't have to investigate because Cat will be like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna stay here. It's safe." And 10 minutes later, it's wander off, and I can hear from a distance what's going on in that room.
Cat's dead.
This wall's bleeding. That's a nice cat. This bathroom's going upside down. That's a nice cat.
So basically, she's a target. Gotcha.
Cat would be like, "Hey, I found that
Explorer.
clown from It. He's crying now. We should go." It's like, oh, all right.
It's a little awkward now.
John, who would you pick?
I would
know
pick
it's your
Webby.
worst nightmare. It's your worst
I
nightmare.
picked Webby because Webby's a gun owner.
I mean, that's true. But is a gun really going to do much against a ghost?
It'll do more than sitting there chewing them out verbally, in my opinion.
I will
I
say,
beg
for
to
those of
differ.
you who watch Supernatural,
Fill it with
it is a
rock salt.
shotgun. I'll
Rock
fill it
salt.
with rock salt. Yep.
And
And iron
also,
bullet.
I would also camp with you in the same room with all the lights on. So
Hell
there's
yeah.
that.
Hell yeah. All right, Kat. You got to pick somebody on the call. Who would you hang out with for a week in a haunted mansion?
It's hard.
I agree.
Don't lie. You wouldn't pick any of us. You'd pick the killer.
I'm just gonna hang out with the ghost all weekend.
Do you mind if I move in? I
Driving
can, I can hold my own.
Nice day.
I pack light. It's no problem.
Do you have an answer or no?
She's rocking with insanity. Do you see
She
her?
just doesn't
Yeah.
want to hurt your feelings, Webby.
Well, here's the thing. I can go along with so many different plans. Like with Rob, I don't mind the idea of kind of exploring. With Webby, I don't mind hiding out in a room.
All right, let me ask you this. You said this decision is hard for you, correct? Do you ever want to be a guest on SU again?
Wow.
Rude.
Wow, bribery! I see how it is. I might have to lean towards Avelos just because the fact that I feel like he would not panic.
Okay. Yeah, I
That's
wouldn't.
my big thing.
Listen, I
Don't wanna
guess I just got to learn to keep my shit together. I don't know.
I mean, I'm pretty good in a
Yeah.
crisis, but I do easily jump scare. That's true.
I mean, Webby, I still have the video of you playing Pacify for the first time.
This is true. We do have that on video.
I honestly want to know what is worse. It have to be Pacify. Although I don't know. When we played Dead by Daylight and the pig lady came out, the first time we saw her, I freaked out. Like I legit screamed on stream. It was Devin streaming it, and I was just like, "The bitch is coming out of the corn! What's happening? Who is this?" I freaked out. Because you didn't hear a heartbeat, nothing. It just caught me by surprise. All I heard was this massive squealing noise. It gave me a heart attack.
I just remember Webby.
You hide in a corner and not look around. You're like, I'm just staring at this corner of the wall. Not turning around.
I'm just remembering the Outlast session that we did, the very first one, where Webby was on the call with me, watching me stream, but because of the way not Steam. What the heck was it we were using then? The Skype. You couldn't actually listen to the video. So he was freaking out without sound, and I was freaking out with the sound, and he was on a delay, and he was wondering what I was yelling about. So we would be quite the pair. There's no doubt about that.
All right. Since Kat doesn't... Kat said Avelos. B, who would you choose on this call to hang out with in a haunted mansion for a week?
Definitely not John. It's everything haunted. I honestly feel like I'd pick Rob. I don't know why.
I'd be okay because I wouldn't have to.
I feel like we'd either stay really calm or we'd just laugh the whole time.
Yep.
And that's what me through it.
Like I said, it came down to you and Kat. We just picked Kat because we knew if there was danger, Kat would basically throw herself on the grenade. But
all right.
You want her to be your sacrifice? Okay.
See, I wanted her to explore. You're already expecting her to not come back.
All right, Avelos. Who would you pick?
Okay. So I'm torn between two people. It is either between... You can point at yourself all you want. You're not one of them. Sorry.
Damn it!
It's either going to be... it's actually either going to be Kat or Professor Fox.
Mm.
Man, 7 people on this call, and John was the only one who wanted to chill with me for a week.
But let me explain my reasoning. So if it's a haunted mansion or a house or whatever, I'm already well versed in most demonology and haunted spirits and ish. I'm good. I don't need that level. I know what's happening. Kat would be a good exploring partner, like everyone has said, and Fox would also be like, oh yeah, you shouldn't draw the pentagram with the color blue. It needs to be red to summon the demon, and we'd be fine. So, we would know all that kind of stuff.
All right. All right, time.
I would actually probably be a good one to go with Webby or John because I'm an anti-ghost something. Because I've gone to some of the most haunted places, like in the U.S., and I never see anything. I'm just like, there's no ghosts here.
All right, give me a time check.
We are at
5 minutes.
All right,
9:54.
I'm gonna end on this question. SU superfan Cheeky asks, if you could only eat one food from one country, what country would you choose? So I asked for a clarification on this. It's essentially, if you could only eat one food that originated from a country, what country would you choose?
Yeah, so you could eat all the food from that country, but it have to be invented and or created there.
Right. So we'll start with Avelos.
So the food, okay. This is hard, and you want a lightning round? How could you?
Yeah.
I feel like I'd be most happy with something made like queso, wherever queso was made from. So I know it's either a Latin type country, so I'd be good at eating queso for the rest of my life.
Okay. B is away from her computer, so we will skip to Kat.
Put mine on hold. I'm trying to figure out what I would go with.
I had to look mine up too, so it's fine. John, what about you?
See, here's the thing. It depends on how you want to describe it, right? Because,
lightning round.
No, John.
I was thinking about Canadian foods, right? So it's like, well, there's a lot of foods that are like an American food. Like, what would you end up eating? Burgers and hot dogs all the time and stuff. But I was thinking with Canadian food. So because some of the normal non-Canadian dishes are actually made in Canada, like ginger beef was made in Canada. It wasn't a Chinese thing. It was something a Canadian restaurant made, and then it became popular. Or Hawaiian pizza, which that becomes a big discussion point, is also made in Canada. It was invented in Canada. So all of those kind of things makes me want to say Canada, but I love Chinese food in general, so Chinese food.
So China?
Yep.
Okay. Fox.
Sorry.
I like how you gave us a history lesson, but knew
I
your
know.
answer.
Sorry.
Fox, what about you?
Mexico. Tacos.
Mexico!
Oh, I like that too.
Rob, what about you?
Italy. I love pasta.
That's how you do a lightning round.
Tamara, what about you?
Italy, because macaroni and cheese was invented there, and I live on macaroni and cheese. The homemade kind, not that shitty craft dinner crap.
Whoa, first off, ease
A
up on the
Velveeta.
shitty craft dinner stuff, okay? That's my favorite. That's my favorite kind of mac and cheese. Anyway, yeah, I think it. Oh, hold on, Kat, do you have yours? Did you look yours up?
She's bailing me with Stream Deck.
What?
Nothing, go.
Alright, I decided on China, although Mexico is a big runner-up. After hearing Fox, I was like, that's good reasoning right there. Tacos.
Okay.
Just saying.
I'm gonna have to go
I'm
with.
hungry.
I'm gonna have to go with Italy. I don't eat pasta. Like very, very few pasta dishes will I eat. Like, even though Tamara gave me the gross face, I like mac and cheese. Okay, but other than that, like I don't eat spaghetti. I don't eat many pasta dishes. But pizza was invented in Italy. I had to look that shit up, and I would not want to live the rest of my life without being able to eat pizza again. So.
Well, yeah, we looked it up just to be sure because we weren't sure if it was like French fries, which aren't really, from France.
Lean
There's
Tower
French
pizza.
cut fries. But...
Yeah. And B has not returned yet, so
Well,
I guess we'll never know her answer to this.
The world may never know.
So, but with that, we have like what 2 more
English.
minutes left.
yeah.
Which will be
Yeah.
our time for wrap up.
Yes.
Yep.
So I want to thank everybody on the stream here for participating in this, and all of the people in the chat as well. So I'm going to go around, and you guys can plug any type of social media you have, where people can find you. So let's start with Tamara. Tamara, where can people find you on the internets?
You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok as Dance in the Abyss. Oh, and on YouTube as Dance in the Abyss. So, yeah, pretty much look up Dance in the Abyss. There I am.
Okay.
Mm.
Fox, where can people find you?
Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Professor Fox HD.
Okay. John?
I am on, so Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube under Linstead DM.
All right. Kat?
It would be Twitch at L Capital 2000L, because Capital 2000 was taken.
All right. And Avelos?
You can catch me crashing one of their streams. That's honestly where I'm at these days. So
Fair enough. Rob, before you say where people can find you on the interwebs, do we have a science corner with Rob this week?
Well, I wasn't expecting a science corner on this, but I did recently see this robotics thing that just happened. Like they had like a human-looking robot that like could make faces, like facial expressions and stuff. Like people like it looked surprised and like it was like being secretive and like. But people freaked out because they thought it was AI, but it wasn't really an AI. It was just a programmable robot. But it looks very human, and people were freaking out about it.
Okay.
But robotics is coming a long way.
All right. Are they going to be able to sustain absolute zero in space?
The robots?
Yeah,
Maybe.
the robots. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's possible.
All right. I mean, you said on an earlier SU that nothing could move in absolute zero. Now you're saying that robots might be able to.
You told me on that same episode that everything is possible.
Yeah, you're right. There could be ice giants in space. Who knows? We don't know.
We're gonna send
All
the
right, where
robots
can
to look
people
for the
find
ice
you on the
giant.
internet? Yeah, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter at Confessor_X and on Twitch on twitch.tv/ConfessorX.
And as always, everybody, thank you for listening. You guys can follow me on Twitter at JaxForestWalker, all one word, on Twitch at DMWebby, and on eBay at Where's Devin?
Yeah, does anybody on the call have life advice? Because usually we do life advice with Devin. Does any of you have some kind of life advice?
As you slide down the banister of life, make sure the splinters face the right way. All right, with that, everybody, thank you for joining us, and fuck Booster Gold.
Until he has to say
Shut
good
up,
things
John.
about it.